If I had one wish, I know what it would be. I would wish that from this day forward, every child ever born was planned and wanted, no exceptions. If we had that, we would have a much better world on our hands. We would have a much better world forever. And just, I mean, our whole entire world would be different if my wish were granted. Every single day, a child is born that is not planned, and that is not wanted. And when I say planned, I mean that you're regularly having unprotected sex with a guy, and y'all have talked about the possibility of having a child, and then you get pregnant, because I'm so goddamn fucking sick of hearing these women say, like, I was having regular unprotected sex with my husband, with my boyfriend, and wouldn't you know it, I was so shocked, I got pregnant. Like, I am so beyond sick of hearing that, and I hope a woman says that to me someday, so I can be like, no, you aren't. No, you weren't. You're not surprised. You knew what you were doing. You got pregnant on purpose. Don't give me this shit that you were surprised. Are you kidding me? That's like saying, like, I went for a walk outside with a blindfold, and wouldn't you know it, I walked into oncoming traffic and I got hit by a car. Can you believe that? Of course I can believe it. Dipshit. That's why you don't fucking do that. Being pro-liar is a mental limitation. And I'll tell you why. People who are pro-liar, almost always, they do always actually, they'll say, oh yeah, I'm anti-abortion, but in cases of rape or incest or absolute medical necessity, then I'm okay with abortion. If you have exceptions to your belief that it's not your then it's not your belief. It's not your real belief if there's a fucking goddamn exception to it, moron. So there's this, like, overall law, it's not a law, but there's like a rule. It's generally like rules in school, like rules other places, okay, that you can't wear a hat to school. You can't wear anything that's like a hat to school, right? But you actually can, because you can wear religious garb that is on your head, okay? So, like, technically that's not even the rule. The rule is you can't wear a hat, but you can if it's religious. I'm just saying, like, I cannot deal with the stupidity that is pro-liarism. If you talk to a pro-liar, without exception, they will shut down and stop talking to you because they know for a fact that they can't back up their own stance. They can't explain to you their beliefs because they don't have them. And also, the fact that these absolute, complete, and total fucking morons think that someone who's pro-abortion is a eugenicist is crazy. That is nonsense, bro. Say we have a hypothetical woman, okay? And say she's not doing so hot. She's kind of unhealthy. Let's say she has 7 kids. Let's say she's also 43 years old. And one of her kids is under 1 year old, okay? Am I a eugenicist if I say, hey, lady, it looks like it's not in your best interest to have another kid? That doesn't fucking make me a eugenicist, you dipshits. That makes me reasonable. Also, me saying that to this woman's face isn't gonna fucking stop her. Me saying, hey, you should get your tubes tied. Me saying, hey, don't have any more kids, basically means nothing. Yeah, maybe she'll take it to heart, but maybe she fucking won't. I don't know. It's not my life. Okay? Pro-liars are mentally limited. I want you to start thinking that, and I want it to be etched in your brain for the rest of your life because it's true. Okay? I have heard of so many pro-liar women becoming pregnant and they go out and get an abortion. I've heard of that happening more than one time. And you know why that is? Because secretly, they really do believe in abortion. Secretly, they really do want women to have access to abortions. But they, like, in their minds, right? Let's say they get pregnant the exact way that they think it's wrong for a woman to get pregnant. Okay? In their minds, they're the exception. They're not like these other women. They're not like these other welfare queens who get pregnant all the time. They were really being responsible and their birth control failed. So she just needs an abortion and she's the moral exception. She's the angelic one. Shut the fuck up, you dumb bitch. You knew what you were doing. You got pregnant. You got an abortion, and now you're going to continue to go around parading about that you're pro-liar when in reality you have utilized the system, the option of abortion. Are you fucking kidding me? That is sick. It is sick for men to be pro-liar. Like, it literally doesn't make sense for a man to be pro-liar because there's no way that they can know where women are coming from. They literally cannot understand that. They will never contemplate it. You know what? I had the thought one time. I was like, okay, if I were male, right? And I weren't female, and I am female, thank God. But if I were male, this is my thought, and I were romantically interested in women, and I was of potential reproductive age, and I was an adult, and I was in a romantic relationship with a woman who I was either going to be having sex with or I was having sex with, I would be like wanting to know what birth control she was on. I would be wanting to know her ovulation. I would be obsessing about it. I would be like, oh, well, like, did you take your birth control pill? Da, 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 da. And I thought longer and harder about this, and I came to the conclusion that men don't actually have the brain capacity to think like that. Most men don't. I honestly believe that because of the amount of men who are fucking stupid enough to get with a woman and then get her pregnant and then be shocked about it. Like, bro, you literally, it's like the woman I mentioned at the beginning of this. Bro, you literally knew what you were doing when you put your penis in that woman, came inside her. You knew what was happening there. But then you're gonna you're gonna run off and be like, no, fuck you, bitch, like, it's not mine. Like, that happens so much that, like, and it happens so often that men are like, oh, well, it's not mine, or some shit like that. I don't think men have the brain capacity to think that hard. I really don't. And I'm not sorry to say that because men are fucking stupid. Pro-liars, I've also seen pro-liars spew a bunch of absolute fucking horse shit about adoption, and I'm sick to death of that garbage. Okay? Pro-liars are like, well, you shouldn't have an abortion because so many women are infertile, so many people would love to have kids, so you should have that kid and then adopt it out. I don't want to hear that, dude. I don't want to hear that ever. But I'm going to hear that because men are dumb as shit. And having a baby, like, giving birth to a baby is not as fucking simple as going to the store to pick something up. When men who say that shit haven't thought about it. Men who say that shit are dumb as fuck. Like, can you believe anyone's dumb enough? I cannot believe anyone is stupid enough to say that. Well, you should just have it and adopt it out. Adopted people are, quadruple as likely as not adopted people to commit suicide, and they are double as likely to have substance abuse issues. I cannot tell you how many horror stories I have seen about people who are adopted who have terrible shit happen to them, happen with their adoptive parents. And like, even let's say that they're the exception, because the exception does happen, okay? Where they get these amazing, great adoptive parents who aren't creepy white saviorists and, you know, adopting children who aren't their race to feel good about themselves. Let's say they actually get good parents. You will always be wondering why your natural parents didn't want you. You will always be wondering why they gave you up. I see all this shit on adoption. Like, okay, here's an example of, this is just a quick example, okay? I saw a video of this black hair salon place that was like, oh yeah, we teach parents how to do their kids' hair. And what they meant by that was they teach white adoptive parents how to do their black baby's hair because they don't fucking know. And I'm not saying these white parents aren't good parents, because I'm sure they are. I'm sure if you're a white parent to a child of color adopted, you're just the best parent ever. That is so fucking patronizing, dude. That is some fucking, like, propaganda bullshit, blind patriotism horse shit I do not want to hear. Okay? But anyway, going back to the video, people were like, oh, this feels so cool. I'm so glad that white parents are learning how to do their adopted black kids' hair. People often, like, cry. People were commenting, too, being like, oh, I'm crying. This is so cool that white parents are learning how to do their black child's hair. I'm actually crying watching that video because that black baby should be with her black mama, and her black mama should be doing her black hair. We are so fucked up when it comes to just blind acceptance of everything, including adoption. We don't even understand where our feelings are coming from. We are a fucked up nation. We are a fucked up people, and men are fucked up because the women are fucked up. Okay? Even if you're with your natural parents, okay, you're not adopted, but you know you should have been aborted, you're going to be fucked up from that too. Personally, I was planned and wanted as fuck. Thanks be to God. My parents planned and wanted me, and they have told me this, okay? Are all parents perfect? No. But if they have that going for them, awesome. That is step one to being a great parent. I know multiple people who say, I should have been aborted. Not me personally, but they say that they should have been aborted. They know that the better decision for them and their life and their mother's lives, etc., and their father, right, the better decision would have been to abort them. They know that. They're aware of that. Okay? I was talking to this pro-liar moron one time because she was like, demonstrating campus. And I was like, don't you think that a woman who can't handle herself, who can't take care of herself, who's not going to be able to take care of herself, who has a drug problem, who is in just a messed up situation, who becomes pregnant, should have access to an abortion? and she also, like, doesn't want the child, like, don't you think that woman should be able to get an abortion? And this girl was like, well, my mom couldn't take care of me. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, my mom couldn't take care of me or my sister because she couldn't afford it. She was uneducated. She had this going on. And I was like, I looked her in the eye and I said, your mother should have aborted you then. Your mother should have aborted you and your sister. She wasn't mentally prepared. She wasn't physically prepared. She wasn't mentally capable. She wasn't physically capable of taking adequate care of you. You should have been aborted. I love how pro-liars, like, have their exceptions to abortion. They're like, I'm against abortion, except for in cases of rape and incest and medical necessity. I'm against abortion. Okay, cool. Medical necessity will always come up, without fail, for babies who are planned and wanted. I saw a video a long time ago of a dad who was taking a video because his wife was pregnant and they already had one child, and they found out that the fetus she was pregnant with had this extremely rare problem where he just, like, wasn't developing a rib cage properly. So if he were to have been born, he would have been born with all of his organs exposed and he would have died painfully. So he and his wife were devastated because they wanted that kid, but they were like, okay, we're not going to put a baby through that. We're going to have an abortion, right? So they went on down to the abortion clinic or wherever the fuck it was they went, and they found pro-liars there. Like, how does that feel as a parent with a child you planned and wanted, but it is medically necessary to abort, to go to the abortion clinic and have morons there protesting you having an abortion? That is inconsiderate as fuck. So another thing of pro-life, I could do this all fucking day, B. I could do this all goddamn day. I could do this my whole life because I've been watching this shit my whole life. And anyway, a while ago, was this about Oregon or Washington? It doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it was Washington. Oregon and Washington have what's called death with dignity. Death with dignity is essentially assisted suicide for people who have terminal illnesses that are not going to recover, and their only option is die a slow and painful death and just, like, wait to eventually die very painfully with your whole family, you know, suffering financially and emotionally, taking care of you. Or you could get the drug that will kill you, and you can decide to take that and die on your own terms. Okay? So that was being made a law in, I feel like it was Washington a few years ago. That was being put into law. It is the law in Oregon. You can do that in Oregon, but I'll expound on it a little bit more in a minute. Anyway, pro-liars, of course, showed up to the courthouse and were like, oh, we don't believe in this. Oh, we think that everyone should live as long as humanly possible, even if they are dying slowly and painfully of an incurable disease that they're going to die from anyway. We don't think that they should be able to die on their own terms because God doesn't want them to. I can't not talk in a ridiculous, like, baby, like, Eric Cartman voice when I say these things, because that's how these people sound. They sound stupid as fuck because they are stupid as fuck, and they are mentally limited if they don't understand the necessity for something like death with dignity. They are mentally limited if they don't understand the necessity for something like abortion. They are mentally limited if they don't understand the direct link to women's progress as a class of people to access to abortion. I hate having to explain this. I really, 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 really do. I hate explaining it. It's so exhausting. I wish I didn't have to explain it. Believe it or not, I actually want to have kids one day. And I will. I'm going to have kids one day. Personally, if I were 8 months pregnant with a kid that was planted wanted with a man that I loved, I would rather kill myself in front of my entire family than abort an 8-month-old fetus that was inside me. That's my personal feeling, okay? But if another woman is 8 months pregnant and she's like, oh shit, just kidding, I don't want to do this. Do you, lady? Good luck getting an abortion. Go to New Mexico, though it's a little late for that there too, but like, good luck. Women should be able to abort at any time in pregnancy, and I don't give a fuck. Fight me. Anytime. Any fucking time. Y'all fight me any day of the week. I will believe that every single day of the week for the rest of my life, even after I have kids. I don't give a fuck. Okay? If a woman wants to do that to her life and maybe regret it and not have that kid, do you, lady? Do you? All of this also feeds into the sexism women face when they want to get their tubes tied. Okay? Women have such a hard time getting their tubes tied because the medical industry is so sexist. The medical industry is so creepily pronatalist. They'll say to a grown-ass woman who does not want kids, asking to be sterilized, well, but what if you change your mind? What if you find the right guy? A grown woman can and should be able to decide whether or not she wants kids. If she does get sterilized, and she does do what the men dick all industry does, warns her that she will, and she suddenly regrets it and wishes she hadn't done it and wants to have kids, that's her fucking fault. She did that to herself. She autonomously went to the fucking doctor, asked to get sterilized, got sterilized. Being like, but what if you find the right guy? That's rapey. She does not want kids. You're saying like, you hope that she finds the right guy to talk her out of her decision she's already made? Rapist apologetic? You're a fucking rapist facilitator if you say that shit. I don't want to hear it ever. Ever! And so, again, I'm so fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired of saying this shit. I wish I didn't have to. I wish that I did not have to. I was going to say something else about pro-liars and pro-liarism. Oh. Here's what I was going to say. Okay. So, pro-liars love to quote the Bible and say, oh, God says what I believe is that every pregnancy should be carried to term, no matter what. If God created man or humans in his image, then that would also mean that humans are in God's image. Okay? And abortion is a gift from God. Abortion was created by God, yet we shouldn't use it. Abortion actually was legitimately discussed and talked about and given instructions for real in an omitted biblical text called the Book of Enoch. But that was omitted from the King James Bible because who wants women to have autonomy of their own bodies? Not Christians. True Christians do, but fake Christians who are misogynists don't want that. And they're like, oh, no. We can't have the Book of Enoch telling women what herbs to use in order to give themselves abortions, because then women would have power over their own bodies, and we can't have that. Pro-liars don't fucking know anything about their own special, holy, religious book. When they didn't even fucking speak ancient Greek or Hebrew or Aramaic, and that shit was translated a cajillion times, yet they're stupid enough to be like, this applies to today. This applies to America. God says in the Bible, God doesn't even say anything about in the Bible about abortion. At all. There is no there's no fucking verse in the Bible that's like, ye shall not abort. Okay? I'm sick and tired of saying this shit. I don't want to hear it anymore. But all y'all need to know is that pro-liars are mentally limited. Okay? They are. Pro-liars don't understand the necessity for abortion, and they don't understand the necessity for euthanasia, which is kind of what I was talking about with death with dignity. Oh, I told you I'd expound upon the organ thing, which I will, but we're getting to the end of this video. In the state of Oregon, you have to actually go before a court and prove that you're mentally sound enough to ask for the death drug. Shit, I wish I could remember the name. I used to know the name of it. You have to go before a court and be like, I have this disease and it's going to kill me in this amount of time, and I would like to be approved to get the pill to kill me, to, humanely let me die. I don't think everyone always gets approved, but that's how it works in Oregon. That is how it works in Oregon. I wish that more women were woman enough to get abortions. I really do. Truly, honestly and truly. Andrea Dworkin said that if she had one wish for women of the 21st century, it would be for us to harden our hearts and learn how to kill. And if you want to, cry your eyes while I play my miniature violin on my two fingers about how abortion is murder, go ahead, but it's not. It's not murder. Are you incorrect? That is another fucking way that I know for a fact that these pro-liars are mentally limited in their thinking. They cannot think beyond their dumbness, their stupidity, because they are mentally limited. A mentally limited person would examine an abortion. A mentally not limited person, someone who is able to actually think logically, someone of sound mind, would look at abortion and look at murder and say, these two things are very different. If you really fucking believe that a woman taking an abortion pill to terminate a 3-month-long pregnancy is the exact same thing as premeditated murder of an actual full-grown human being, I don't know what to tell you, but, you're not smart. If you literally cannot tell the difference between those two things. Okay, that's like comparing someone... Okay, little kids step on ants, right? Little kids see ants and step on them, okay? Is a little kid having fun outside, stepping on ants and killing them, the same exact thing of someone finding a family's beloved dog and brutally murdering it in front of them because they thought it'd be fun. Like kids who think that killing ants is fun outside while they're playing. Are those the same thing? No. If you can't figure that out, then you are mentally limited. How is terminating a pregnancy within a woman, how is that the same as premeditated murder? It's not. It literally couldn't be more different. I'm gonna get a lot of heat for saying this, but it's true. I feel more sad when I hear about a woman, an actual born, grown, living woman with a full life ahead of her having been murdered than I feel for a pregnancy that's been terminated. I guess I'm not going to get that much heat for that, but like, pro-liars will give me heat for that because they're mentally limited. Those are not the same thing. Don't compare that shit. Also, like, pro-liars clearly cannot grasp the gravity of human life, right? They don't get it. They don't understand the necessity for abortion. They don't understand how serious it is when a lot of women need abortions. Do y'all know, by the way, pro-liars, do y'all fucking know that the most common group of people, of women who get abortions, are married, religious women in their 40s? Because that's the most common group of people to get abortions, you dipshits. Probably because y'all aren't educating them properly on sex to begin with, but I digress. So y'all are so mad that married women in their 40s are choosing to terminate pregnancies. Y'all are dumb. Okay, a lot of women who get abortions already have kids, and they're like, okay, I already have kids and I'm kind of struggling, this is very difficult, I'm not going to add an additional child to this mix, I'm just going to terminate. Does that, I guess in pro-liars' minds that makes me a eugenicist again for saying that a woman should care about her already born children. Hello fucking hell, dude. Okay, I think that's enough. Just remember that pro-liars are mentally limited, and ask them this question. If abortion were to be made illegal, and a woman illegally obtained an abortion for herself, what should her punishment be? They can't answer it. They can't answer any complicated question. I don't know if that's because the questions have too many words in them, or they're too chicken shit to see that this is an issue directly related to women's progress as a people. And they're afraid of women getting better status within society. They want everything status quo. They want women to remain subjugated by not having access to abortion. That's what pro-liars are. Here's a fun fact. Pro-liars actually used to be called anti-choice. There was pro-choice and there was anti-choice. I wish they were still called anti-choice because that's exactly what they are. But they, threw their little Bibles on the floor and threw tantrums and were like, we aren't anti-choice, we're pro-life. Being pro-life includes being pro-quality of life. And if a woman is woman enough to know that she's not going to be able to provide for a child the way that that child deserves, and she aborts it, she's actually the one who's pro-quality of life. Just living, just having a life, isn't necessarily quality of life, right? So that's why I can and will always refer to people who say that they're pro-life as pro-liar. because they are pro-lies, they are pro-women subjugation of women. They aren't pro-women, they're anti-women. They're anti-women, and they're anti-critical thinking, and they cannot do the mental steps it takes in order to see the necessity of abortion in this world and in our nation. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.